Let's see if I can summarize some ideas here. And particularly Jake Steiner, I thank him for his maximum effort. People are obviously successful if they look at a Snellen. And if their goal is passing the DMV or the 2060 to 2040 line, that's success. You don't have to have 2020. And in that sense, Jake is successful, providing you look at a Snellen, providing you accept long term. Now, part of what I was doing was just to verify that a child's habit, my habit, created nearsightedness, negative state for the completely normal eye, as I see it. As an engineer, I see all eyes as dynamic from birth, not defective at birth, because they had positive or negative state. That's what objectively measured. When you pose a camera on the state, you jump to the conclusion that all eyes are defective because they have refractive states. It's crazy. It's not true. You can only measure a refractive state. You can't infer defect because you don't know what you're doing. You want medicine to help you. Okay. Two ophthalmologists, Rup Wong and husband, are preventing nearsightedness because they keep the kids' eyes off the page and they use atropine. This is when the kid has 20/20, and you're saying, you can't do that to my kid. He has 20/20. He doesn't need anything. This applies both to the plus and atropine. So very dedicated parents will prevent their 3 kids from entering nearsightedness. But you don't understand that, so you don't want to attempt to understand it, so you won't understand it. The other major person was Jake Riffelson, who deduced this problem, said minus lens is poison, and would not put it on his own children. But he had to sit day by day, every day, and keep his children in the plus. If that terrifies you, if you're afraid of the plus, then stop attempting prevention because you won't make it. I look at my Snellen probably once a week, and I'll use a test lens to just make sure my refractive state measured is positive. I'm only required to have 20/40 as a pilot, and that's when I'm flying. 20/20 is only required for a professional pilot. But even say that something internal in intellect must be good in the person to accept the need for long-term prevention. Now, I showed you the Eskimo studies that was done in probably the 50s. Nobody knew anything about the Eskimos until that point, and Frank Young made accurate measurements. The Eskimos who did no close work, no reading, had refractions of +1 to +2. That is not farsightedness. That's a valuable positive refractive state. But medicine keeps on referring to that as a medical defect. It's their language that is bad, not science. So the self-same kids spend 12 years doing this, some of them doing this, and 85% change from positive refractive state to negative refractive state. And they can't read the 20/60 line. But nobody bothers to talk to them about the possibility of prevention because Eskimos are naturally stupid, of course. It seems. That seems to be the attitude. To you also. The conversations with Julie Steinhauer was that, well, yes, you could reverse it at 20/60, but the public doesn't want that. No, they don't want prevention when you're 20/60. They want to go down to -5. So Julie can say, I can get you out of -5. I'll get you from -5 to -4 and -3, and I consider that a total success since I make the measurements. Is that wrong? Is it wrong to not say anything when the person is 20/60 and might have been able to get out of it? Well, the law is you don't say anything. Is not saying anything a lie? I don't know. You'll have to answer that question yourself. I don't blame optometrists because the public is ignorant, massively, beyond hope. So, no, I don't blame them because you can't help the public. Until you learn that lesson, you have not learned anything at all. So, these videos go to my immediate relatives. Of course, I'm their uncle, and you don't ever really listen to your uncle because he doesn't know anything. That's the reason. Well, that's the way it goes. So as an engineer, I'll measure a refractive state, and I won't get into arguments with medical people because they can't do anything about it. And you are the problem, 100%. There's no other way to think about it. Maybe that helps you. I don't know. I don't what helps you. I know that if I were entering a 4-year college with 20/40 vision and you showed me the data on the Eskimos and I designed control systems as an electrical engineer, I would listen to you. And I might use the plus to go from 20/60 to 20/40 while I'm at Embry-Riddle or some aeronautical college. And in fact, because Rupa Wong and husband are protecting their kids with atropine, I know they won't block you. They won't stand in your way to doing this. But they're not going to help you. The only place that they help is your own children. I know from the data I see. Yeah. Prevention is only possible when you're on the threshold of nearsightedness. Other than that, it's not possible. But if you're going to go to somebody like Julie, be prepared mentally. What is your goal? Is your goal to get past the DMV? At home, your measurements? Is it to get to 20/20? Or do you just want to go from -5 to -4 for some reason? I don't do things by half measurements. When I get the idea, I either go all out or I don't do it. It's not a matter of trust. I trust science and facts. And that was Frank Young's studies and many others, including primate studies. But you got to understand eyes as dynamic systems. If you don't understand that, our conversations won't go anywhere. So this summarizes basically Jake Steiner, great guy, trying to do a lot, and the people who got partially out of nearsightedness, but they won't get to 20/20. And I only state what I believe because that's how I wanted to be treated. But it takes good parents and kids to really sign up for prevention. And that's beyond their capability now. So mostly what I say, imagine, is Embry-Riddle talking to them as engineers and the Eskimo data, and then designing a control system with them. And I still wouldn't say wear a plus. I would say you have a choice in Embry-Riddle to use the plus lens during 4 years at Embry-Riddle and get to at least 20/40 and better, and then perhaps 20/20, which is where I am now. Incredibly happy to be 20/20. Medical people couldn't help me, so I had to do it myself. And deep respect. And I learned a lot from Rupa and Jeff Wong about what will work and what will not work, never work. Hope you enjoy this one. Please add your commentary. I learn things on my own because if you don't do it that way, you will not learn anything. Thank you.